What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another AMA with Onrie. I am your host, Onrie Kompen, and this afternoon we are getting ready for Capital City Comic Con. Normally, I just started kind of doing this AMA thing because, I kind of wanted to give you guys a chance to kind of see the other side of what I do. I mean, most of you guys who are watching me on live sales shows, you guys, you know, are actually buying comics from me, but when I go to conventions, I'm typically set up, selling my own comics, and that is my core focus at 99.9% of the conventions that I do. This convention is going to be a rather interesting one. If you guys look on the bottom here where it tells you where you can find me this weekend, I'm going to be set up and representing Scout Comics at booth 211 at Capital City Comic Con, but I'm going to be selling you some Shin books while I'm out there. That's going to be kind of, my focus right now. But I'll also be with another excellent creator, Brenton Lengel. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He's going to be over there with me too, and I'm really looking forward to working with him. We're going to have a really great weekend, and in the meantime, I'm going to start packaging up books, getting ready for the show. And if you guys have any questions, you want to talk to me about something, let me know. What's up, Chris? How you doing? This prep show isn't for crybabies. This is absolutely true. It's been a pretty crazy couple days for me. Obviously, if you guys follow me on social media, you know that this latest shooting took place really close to home. And there's a story that has been plaguing me for the last 24 hours. And it's one of the victims was a father who died protecting his 2-year-old kid. He was using himself as a human shield for his son. Both him and his mom died, and the boy is now an orphan. And the crazy thing is like I could have known these people. You know what I mean? It's pretty wild, and I've been in a pretty dark place. Wondering, as I'm sure many of you guys are, feeling like almost kind of like helpless, like, what can I do? Because in all reality, there's really not much that can be done or said. There's a lot of ways you can come at all of this gun violence, and some people feel like they have the answer, and I think I understand why they feel that way. I guess I'm just self-aware enough to know that I don't, and that's a scary thing, right? Is that we don't have the answer of how to solve this very deep crisis that's plaguing our country. But the worst part about it is how does this affect what we do? How do we keep going? Even this morning I had a really hard time these last few days just getting out of bed. I just don't want to get out of bed. I want to stay and sleep. Usually I'm up. The latest I can pull that off though with 2 kids is maybe 7:30. And mainly because it's summertime, but nevertheless, it's hard waking up in the morning and wanting to continue to go on when you know that there are people out there that are not going to be able to do that anymore. And they certainly had no idea when they woke up that morning that was what was going to happen. It really makes me very profoundly sad. To the point where I was not even sure that I could be here with you guys this afternoon. I was actually considering not doing this at all. But then I decided to call up my good friend, Afua Richardson, who, as always, provides a level of understanding. Not only, and I had a really wonderful conversation with Brian Stelfreeze about her at Heroes Con. And those of you guys who have met her on the theme sale that we did together back in January, or who know her just from her convention appearances or her outstanding work, know that she's just so ridiculously full of talent. It's not even funny. But on top of that, she's also very wise. And what I got from the conversation I had with her when I expressed how I was feeling was that the point of everything is not that there's anything we can possibly do to change the outcome of what is going to happen tomorrow, in the sense that there's no way that anything I do today, there's no amount of comics I can sell that's going to prevent the next atrocity from occurring. However, going on and living my life to the fullest is something that I can do, and getting out there and pushing books and showing other creators that, hey, you can do this too, and encouraging the next generation is really the greatest cause. And even especially as a father too, but I don't really see my children necessarily following in my footsteps. I certainly am not priming them for that. I think it would be wonderful if they didn't have that hanging over them, that expectation. What's up, man? Good to see you too. And Travis, congrats on your deal with Scout, man. Welcome to the party. That's awesome, dude. I mean, you've been involved with them for a while now. Chris, that's a great question. How do I know how many books have taken me to a convention? So that is putting it on point to what we're here to talk about, which is Comic-Con battle prep. And I'll get back to the end of my little rant there, my diatribe in a moment. But how do I know how many books to bring? I think about the hours the show is going to be. So this show that I'm going to, Capital City Comic-Con, which is in Lansing, Michigan, is going to be essentially 2 full days, and then Friday is a half day that starts at 5 o'clock. So 5 to 9, that's what, like 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. So that's 4 hours of selling time. I don't know why I had to count that out, but so we got 4 hours of selling time on Friday. So I anticipate that in that 4 hours of sales on Friday, if I am consistent, I can probably get between 150 and 200 books sold, right? Because it takes me about 3 hours to move 120 books just at any convention that's packed with people who are at a show. It doesn't matter if it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'm just constantly out there. The more people I'm pitching, the more the odds are of me making that sale. So that's how I anticipate it. So, I know Friday is going to kind of come to a point where I can probably move anywhere from 150 to 250 books. Or sorry, 200 books, not 250. I'd have to literally not get rejected at all. And that's not how shows go for me. It's not like people just come up and storm and buy my books. That never has happened before. It has happened. It happened in Korea one time. But that's Korea. It's a different market. It's not the same thing as here in the U.S. And I just don't think it happens for a lot of people. People don't clamor for those comics unless they see some kind of financial opportunity there. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I know this book has some speculation value, so I want to grab it because I can. And it's our job as creators to create that sense of FOMO. For me, I've always kind of seen it as I want to make my book available and affordable to my customers. And so I've always tried to kind of draw a certain line of what I would charge for a book. And of course, it varies for every creator. I wouldn't say that what I do is necessarily what everybody should be doing. Certainly, if I charge more for my books, I'd probably be making more money per unit, but I wouldn't be moving as much inventory. And monetarily, I don't know if that would affect me much, but I can tell you it would affect the amount of people who would leave that show with my book in their hands. So it took me a lot of time to kind of fine tune what that meant and how it looked. And a show like this is pretty small. Like, if this were a full 3-day show, I would bring over 1,000 books with me. Because it's not a full 3-day show, I'm probably looking at somewhere between. I think right now I'm aiming at we'll do a final count, but my goal is 700 for the weekend. So I want to sell 700 books this weekend. That's a combination of single issues and graphic novels and everything. My graphic novel haul is going to be a little bit smaller than it was at HeroesCon, where my main focus was just selling graphic novels. I wasn't selling any single issues at that show. So that was a little different. The reason why I couldn't do that is because I didn't have copies of issue 1, which I now have. So hope that answered your question. Let's see what else everybody's saying. Lenny Squint, Cell 701. Hey, dum. Oh wow, that's great, Travis. A Black Caravan book. That's great. So now Richard's going to be your editor in chief, I guess. And what he's done with Scoot is just absolutely amazing. And if you guys haven't checked out the crowdfunding campaign for Snappy Bunny, be sure to do that. But also be sure to check out Travis's Kickstarter campaign. And Travis, if you're still watching, which I hope you are, please feel free to drop a link to your Kickstarter in the comments. I'm more than happy to help you spread the word and see that your book gets funded. Voodoo Nations is a book that I absolutely love. And the reason why I love it so much is because there's really not a lot of books like it out there. I feel like Travis really puts himself out there as a creator to do the kind of stories that he wants to tell. And I don't see any kind of like motivation to try and hit a specific market or target audience. You know, he is telling the kind of stories that he himself wants to see out there. He's committed to the craft, and I have an immense amount of respect for him. Glad we're going to be in the same company with publishing and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. At least for one of our projects, right? All right. So I just stocked up the first row of books. That's 500 single issues. Now I'm going to get the second row going. That's going to give us 1,000. And then we're going to add 2 more stacks to that because I'm just going to account for Friday being kind of like a shorter day. We only have 4 hours there. So I kind of know at this point I've done enough shows. I haven't done this show. This will be my first time doing it. So it could, I'm always going to prepare very not conservatively when I go to conventions. You never want to be conservative when you're thinking about how much inventory to bring with you. Always bring more than you think you can sell. So, if I was being conservative, I'd probably bring 500 books with me. I'm bringing 700 because I have faith that it's going to be a great show, that there's going to be a lot of foot traffic, that we're going to see a lot of books move, and that's why I'm pushing for 700. If I can do it, that would be ideal. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And what's great is now that we have this new version of Yu Sing Shin, Warrior Defender 1, I'm really pleased with that because we added so much to the book. And I brought on Chuck Pino, who's going to be my new series editor. He was a major help in getting this book together and making it really great. And he's a dynamite dude. Absolutely love him. And Travis, I know you have a lot of experience working with Chuck. You've worked with him longer than I've worked with him, and I'm sure you can say a thing or two about him. How are the conventions post-COVID? What are the biggest changes? I don't know. Lately, I have to say it's pretty much been what it is. Like it's pretty much gone back to normal. Like if I say like Phoenix Fan Fusion, I would say this was better than 2019 because the anticipation that was there, that was building up to it, was so intense, and the payoff was there too. And that was a great show. It was better than 2019 by far. The only sad thing was that they made it a little bit shorter, but it still worked out in the end. It's a great show. Actually, I see your question. I will get back to you when I have time. Okay, we already talked about this, so let me take a look when I have some time. Right now is not a good time because I'm moving and I got to get ready for all these shows and things like that. So once all that dies down after about 2 weeks, I'll be able to sit down and actually look everything over. I know it's not what you want to hear, but that's our situation. All right. So Thanks for tuning in, though. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here, and I did not forget about you. I got your books in a box. I just got to look over everything and make sure that we're truly squared up. Once I have that, and it's been such a long time, when I open up PayPal, there is a 30-day limit of what I can go back and look. So I have to, stretch out the filters, and I have to carefully look it over. And I just honestly haven't had time to do it. I've been being pulled in a lot of different directions. So I will get to it as soon as I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That was a great question, Lenny. So you want me to bring 701 books? I'll bring 702 books. How's that sound? Thanks, David. I appreciate you. I'm a gentleman and a scholar. I don't know about a scholar. I definitely wouldn't consider myself a scholar by any means. But, going back to what I was saying earlier, I've been having a hard time getting out of bed, just, thinking about what happened so close to home. And I guess the point of everything is that we just got to keep moving forward and doing what we do best, and living the best lives that we can. And for me, I don't feel more. I've never felt more alive than when I'm on the floor of a convention pitching books, or when I'm doing claim sales with you guys. Comics is what I know best, and it's all I know. It's what I love. I absolutely love. I love this business. I can't imagine myself not being a part of it in any way. I have to say I've been very fortunate to be surrounded by so many talented and wonderful people in this business who I feel all desire and are working towards achieving greatness in their projects and in themselves, and to be a part of that culture and that mindset is a very inspiring and motivational thing. So it's you guys who's getting me up and getting me out of bed in the morning. I know it may not seem that way, but that's what keeps me going. This is why I'm doing this and not sulking right now in my own, wallowing in my own self-pity here, But it's not easy, I'll tell you that. And I'm sure you guys know that too, and there is a sense of, privilege in it, and that there's guilt too, and I try not to focus on that so much, because that's just kind of boarding off positive energy, and that I think is a very real thing. We need to keep ourselves in a positive and a motivated state at all times. Oh my God, especially when we're packaging up books. So we will soon have 1,000 books ready to rock, ready to go. That would be 100 sets of Yusu Shin books. So I also think about this too. Let's say a convention draws in about 10,000 people. I only got to sell books to about 160, maybe 200 of those people. That's it. That's all I got to sell to. So if in three days I can't sell to 200 people, doesn't mean I failed. It just means that there weren't enough people over there that either discovered where I was or were interested in finding or interested in what I was selling. So I always kind of think of it that way. It's a rule of numbers, How many people do I think are going to be at the show? And I really have no idea. I hope it'll be a lot. I hope it'll be receptive. I always go into a convention with as much optimism as I can, and if it doesn't work out and I don't sell out, so what? Then I just drive home with everything. It's not like this is a drivable show. So, and those are the kind of shows I want to be doing more of, drivable shows, because much less expenses going in, and I can pull a lot more out of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not that I won't be doing big shows too, though. I plan on going to Dragon Con. I'm going to be at New York this year. I'm skipping on San Diego, primarily because it's my son's birthday. I want to be there for my son's birthday. So that's it. It's purely selfish reasons. Um, Alon's turning 5. I'm always on the road. Every weekend I'm doing something, and he's at home, and he's always looking forward to me being there. And what I'm going to go to San Diego Comic Con on his birthday. This is another show. It'll be there later on in the future. Right now, it's important to be a father to my kids, and that's something that I consider that's the greatest privilege that I have is being a father. Check out the comments. See who else is cursing me out right now. Yeah, Lenny, what's up, man? So how's my new house? Oh gosh. Well, we're moving in tomorrow, so tomorrow's move-in day, and I've been kind of spending the last few days like packing up stuff, bringing it over. I have to go after this to the house again to set up the internet over there, but I have a new home office, which is great, so I'll be able to do more shows from home. I just got fiber wire internet, so that'll be like really good for live streaming. I'll probably get better internet at home than I will at the warehouse. But the problem with the warehouse the problem then becomes that I don't have access to the same amount of inventory. So, I mean, it's everything's working out great though. I mean, the house is beautiful. It's turning out really nice. My wife and I have been bleeding, sweating, and crying over it quite a bit. But there's also a sense of fear in moving. And I say this because sometimes I almost feel like I don't deserve it. And I think that's something that maybe some of us might feel, at times. And it's just, I guess it's a human feeling, but I worry about whether or not I can afford this new house, whether or not, I even really deserve to be living in such a house. Those kinds of things. I think about that a lot. Especially, working in comics. But, it's one of those things where, you have to kind of be optimistic and working towards something better. And I definitely have a lot in the works right now. I'm still optimistic that things will work out and in a positive way for me, and I'll land where I want to go. Yeah. Just digging some books out here. Yeah. It's a great workout. Packing books, especially after you've been moving all day. Ugh. There we go. More comments. Good news is we're almost done with all the Onrie and Defender books. And as soon as I'm done packaging up all these books here, or setting up all these books here, 5, 6, I'm going to throw them in boxes, and then on Friday morning I'm going to load them up into my car, and then I'm off to Lansing, Michigan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that set. I'll tell you this with certainty that I know for a fact that I can definitely sell through all of the Onrie and Defender books that I'll bring this weekend. And all of the trades as well. That I know I have no doubt will sell out. Even at the worst conventions, it still sells out. I guess if I have any doubt, that would. Let's see, Victoria's in the house. Oh, you're pouting. You're loose. Do you want me to get something signed for you? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, exactly. David Moore. Yeah, you're in sports, dude. That's being in college sports, it's very competitive. You got a lot of people coming to these games. You don't know who's going to be there, and yeah, you got to keep yourself motivated to just keep going even when things get rough. And yeah, it's hit me in a very profound way. Another thing happened too. A number of years ago, I had a friend who um, we were no longer uh, we no longer associate with each other, but he had a huge family tragedy occur. His older brother was very depressed and stabbed his parents to death, and then shot them, and then killed himself. And that also really profoundly affected me. It was pretty messed up because I knew his parents and I knew him, and it was a lot. What I discovered afterwards is that he was in a lot of pain. He was in deep, deep pain, and it's a very sad thing when people go through this stuff and they don't get the kind of help that they need. It's not that the help isn't there; it's the kind of help that they need that can really affect it. And the thing is like that kid who committed those crimes. I could have run into him. I could have seen him and not even realized it. That's how close Highland Park is to me. It's literally the neighboring town. Um, my family and I we used to go to downtown Highland Park all the time, and we'd have breakfast at Walker Brothers over there, and that's exactly where everything kind of occurred. It's really insane to think about it. And I wouldn't say that it's not safe anymore or anything like that, but there's a sense of real sadness in knowing that this can happen anywhere, really. Every day we leave the house, anytime we go anywhere, it's like kind of puts us at risk. And you can live your life in fear, and you can just sit inside all day and cry and out in your bed. But this show ain't for crybabies, as Chris Deisko likes to say. You just gotta kind of go with it. It is what it is. So for trades, normally if I go to a convention, so like next week, for example, I'm going to be at Comic Palooza, and I'm going to be checking up with Jen King over there. When I go out to Comic Palooza, and I know it's a 3 full day show, and it's Texas, and my books always sell really well in Texas. I know that I'm going to do predominantly better than I would at a show like that's shorter and that hasn't been around as long. So I can't tell you anything about Capital City yet because I haven't done it yet. So I will only be able to tell you guys after I've done it. And I have a feeling it's going to be a really great show. I think it's going to be very successful. But until it actually transpires, I really don't know. So once it does, then I'll know what to bring next year for sure, right? But this year I'm kind of know that I have so much time, so I'm going to bring 60 graphic novels with me. Normally, when I go to a convention, I'll bring about 100. I don't think that there's a point for me to bring 100, and of course, I was just saying earlier, like to be as optimistic as possible. But 60 graphic novels, it's a pretty big haul too. So especially for a 2.5 day show, it's that literally means that I have to sell, at least 20 of them a day. And I think I can do it. I'm pretty certain I can do it, and it's going to be a great event. Am I doing that? Count that real quick. Yeah, that's right. He's the baby enforcer. He makes sure there's no babies on this show. On any of my shows, really. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys so much. I mean, it really means a lot to me to know that I have support from you guys, because that's really what's keeping me in the game. That's really what's getting me out of
get me up and about. Is knowing like, hey, I gotta go do this thing, and it's also the creators too that I know, and the you know they're people that I look up to very much. I had a really wonderful evening yesterday with Monk Park and Mel and Anbu. We were they were on an EXP show I did yesterday, and we had planned this, and of course I didn't have any time to promote it, so I just waited until I did my live sales show to promote it. But it was still great because I got a chance to hang out with Kurt Zauer, who's got a really great Kickstarter campaign going right now for a book called Spectrus and Sabanian, and I highly recommend you guys check that out. It's a really beautiful series. I picked it up a while ago from him at Wizard World, and I'll probably back his campaign at some point. Ted launched his campaign yesterday too for a Puma number. It's actually a Pama number 1 through 12, and it's already funded within like 24 hours, which is really cool. Less than 24 hours. And what else is on Kickstarter right now? Stabbity Bunny. There's some really great campaigns. Travis Gibbs, Voodoo Nations is up there right now. It's a hot time for Kickstarter. Lots of great creators out there pushing their stuff. I should have been ready to go right now. I'm just not. But I'm getting there. They're the opening act. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Kickstarter's a beast, man. Those campaigns can be really, really tough sometimes, and it takes a lot out of a creator. So I'm always very understanding of what goes into it, and because I've done a couple myself and about to do my third one, and I hope it'll be successful. Yisun Chin's got a goal of $7,000 we've got to meet. That's to cover the print costs for the latest issue, Hunter and Destroyer number 2, and the reprint of issue 1 that I did in advance. I've come up with some really good incentives for you guys. We got some really cool variant covers for Hunter and Destroyer 2. We got our first cosplay cover, and the cosplay is done by Annie Mia, and she is just absolutely fantastic. So we're going to have a bunch of those done, and a slew of other really wonderful things. All right. So we got the graphic novel set up, and we got we got single issues set up. And now we're going to go over to Fallen Avengers single issues, and we're going to end with some Marks. And Marks is about to go out of press very, very soon, guys. I think I only have, let me count, 5 boxes of Marks left. So that's not much, considering you're going to go through about a box per show. So what does that mean? That might mean that very soon I'm going to be changing my focus from from Marks to Warlion. The first issue is just about done, and I'm really happy about that from the production side. The next step is going to be the lettering and the final scripting. That I'm not looking forward to. 2, 4, 6, 8, 20. So that was 40 copies. So I'm going to bring 200 copies of Fallen Avengers 1 through 4 with me over there. That's 50 total amount of 50 sets. So I anticipate half of the people who are going to buy the Warrior and Defender Warrior and Defender single issues are probably going to pick up Fallen Avengers single issues as well. 2, 4. And I don't know how I came up with the system. I just kind of eyeballed it, really. I kind of looked at what I was doing. And, I've always tried to challenge myself to it at specific shows just to see how much I can do. And the highest amount of books I've ever sold at a single convention was like 1,700 books, which is, I was very happy about that. If I can get to 2,000 one day, that would be amazing. So you got that. The county board before we went live. These here. Now I got Onrie before. Right. So 5 year. Check the comments here while I'm counting. Yeah, I know. Jim Shooter's going to be there. I've met Jim at a number of conventions. Very, very accomplished editor. Or editor and writer. Everything. Done a lot of stuff in comics. He also founded Valiant. One, two, three, four. And 25. 25. 5. 10. I know this is a lot of fun watching me count books. 15. 20. That should be 25. Yes, it is. Oh, I actually pulled out the right amount of books. And I got to count out my Hunter and Destroyer books. So I have 50 of those with me, too. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I'm really looking forward to meeting Brendan Lingo. I don't know much about him or what he's worked on for Scout, but we've been exchanging emails, and he's a solid dude. You know, he seems like a real good guy. I'm really looking forward to getting to know him better. He's a very talented creator. Obviously, if Scouts bring him out to a show, they obviously know good talent when they see it. And big congratulations to some of my friends on the Experience who are officially a part of the Scout team now. Joey Galvez and Ambrosia are going to be handling all of Scout's social media marketing. They already have been doing it, but now it's official. Not much has changed, but you know the announcements are official. Now it's official. We all work closely together at the Experience, so this is it's pretty cool when you see people working their way up from other companies and doing other really great things. Just missing a few Hunter and Destroyer books, and then it's off the marks. I don't know what I'm going to do with Mark's links. I gotta find a home for that book. I think it's kind of. I've gone as far as I can with it for sure, and I really want to see Mark's get its comeuppance as a film or something, and it's very hard to do that without any connections. So I don't know. I might be looking for a publishing home for it. We'll see. I'll see. I'm going to sing my Wesley Snipes ABCs. I'm reading both Chris and Victoria's comments at the same time. All right. And last but not least, we got Mark's A Tale of Neglect. Oh! So I'm going to bring about 40 of these with me. So in total, I'll have 100 graphic novels to sing at this show. That's one number, I mean. But definitely something I think I can do. I have great faith in Mark's. This book is sold out at a ton of shows that I've done. And when it doesn't, I still only end up with like just a few copies to spare. It's not like I ever walk back with like a big box full of Mark's books. Usually it's just like, 10 to 15 straggling copies. 2, 4, 6, 7. Getting there. Halfway there. I feel like Tobey Maguire in the second Spider-Man movie, like after he fell over when he got his powers back.
And he's like, "Oh, my back!" And I totally felt his pain, even when that movie came out for the first time. I was like, "That just looked like it hurt." He acts like it hurts. All right. And, let's see. Four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All my clothes are in like different areas too, and like I don't even have access to my shaver right now, so I can't even shave. No, I'm just jump in the shower. That's it. Somehow by tomorrow or by Friday morning, I'll have it all figured out. I hope. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So this is our haul for the big one, and I think also at this show, I can afford to bring Eastern Shin t-shirts because hey, it's a show that's within driving distance, so I have the storage space for it. So I'm gonna bring some Eastern Shin shirts with me. I'll probably just bring about 2 of every single size that I have in stock. The only size shirt I need to reprint is my double XL. Those all sold out. Shocking. And yet not. This is America. All right. And my 5X. But I still have plenty. Or actually, in my 3X. My 2X and 3Xs are sold out. But I have every size from small to XL, and then 4XL and 5XL. So I'll bring some t-shirts with me too. And that is my haul. I'm going to take a picture of it real quick. The whole thing here. And let's count what we finally got here. So we got I said that, yeah, so we got 200, 400. I miscounted before when I said we have 1,000 single issues. It's actually 480 single issues. If I said 1,000, I mean that would be focus. So sorry. It's actually 480 100 single issues, plus 60 graphic novels, plus 200 of those. That's 740, plus 50 Hunter and Destroyer, plus 40 marks. We were bringing a total of 830 books with us to Capital City Comic Con. Do I think I can sell all these books? I don't know. We'll see how far I get. I'll do my best. I'll sell as many as I can. Any Eastern Shin bikinis left in stock? That's actually one of our next licensing endeavors. We're gonna have to talk to Scout about that. Scout's looking into some pretty interesting stuff so far. James Hake and I had very brief conversations, of course, because the man is so freaking busy, and he's got such an incredible hustle. But yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of cool licensing deals come as a result of Eastern Shin's association with him, which is really why I wanted to partner with them in the first place. That was really what it was about for me, was the licensing opportunity. I have my tape down here. Because I removed it. Where is it? I think it is. Got it? Yep, that's it. All right. First box is ready to go. Fallen Adventure graphic novels right here. You have to mark it. so that I know what's in it. Check the comments here. And so what's up with you guys? Tell me what's new with you guys. Now I'm asking the freaking questions here. What's new with you guys? Since you guys take such an interest in what I'm up to, I should at least take some sort of interest in what you guys are up to. Quid pro quo, Clarice. Clarice. That didn't sound freaky, did it? All right. All right. Yeah, write to me. Let me know what you guys are thinking. What are you guys watching too? I've actually been watching the Star Wars prequels again. I'm almost about to finish them. I'm on Revenge of the Sith now. I'm at the part where Anakin, decides he's going to work with Palpatine and everything. Man, those movies are so well thought out. I know there are people out there who hated the prequels and everything, but I gotta say, I think Hayden Christensen did a spectacular job as Anakin Skywalker. I believed it. I believed a man like that could be seduced by the powers of the dark side. If you disagree with that, then you're a hater. You're not a lover of Star Wars things. No, I'm just kidding. I know a lot of people didn't like his acting. And he did have some corny lines, like, in the beginning of the movie, him and Padme are pronouncing their love to each other, and he's like, "No, because I'm so absolutely in love with you." And she's like, "Oh, I love you, Anakin." He's like, "No, not as much as I love you." And I think that's well done too, because you can see his obsession with her in a lot of ways, and that's what is drawing him into this path of evil, which was really just well handled. I love Revenge of the Sith. That was a really good movie. And I like the Clone Wars too. George Lucas always said it was a love story, and everybody did love making fun of Hayden Christensen for it. Mannequin Skywalker. He was not Mannequin Skywalker. He was great. Poor Hayden. Everybody's hating on Hayden. They should actually give him a show where he calls it Hating on Hayden. Yeah, people used to send me letters. Someone once tried to send me anthrax. Anthrax in an envelope. That poor guy. I'm serious. Like, no one gets it worse than Star Wars actors. The guy who played Jar Jar Binks. Like, I mean, it's just a freaking character in a movie. An annoying character, but a character nonetheless. He's no Finn Jones. That's for dang sure. That's for gosh darn dang sure. All right. Got a box of graphic here. So, Chris, I got your Whatnot stuff out to you. So you should have your books that you picked up from the Whatnot show last Friday over to you in the next couple days. So I appreciate you shopping with me that day. That was great. All right. Okay. Almost done here, folks. So be sure to come find me this weekend at Capital City Comic Con, booth 211. Is that it? Whatever it is at the bottom, whatever it says at the bottom there. And yeah, this will be my first show. I guess kind of, but not really. Setting up for Scout, so I'll have my Scout runner out. And I'm looking forward to that, and we have a good time. No, what's not perhaps some solution? No? All right. Perhaps this. He's no Finn Jones, that's for sure. I'll tell you what really prompted me to go back and watch the prequels again was just how gosh darn great that last fight in Obi-Wan was. I mean, I didn't care for that show overall, but that last battle in there, man, it was great. I love what they did with him. They handled the they did a really great battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan, or Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. If I was Obi-Wan, I would have totally killed Darth Vader. I wouldn't have let him survive. Yeah, let that guy survive. See what happens. They'll end up as a Force ghost before you know it. Okay. Overflow here. So close this box. And Eureka weekend. All right. Here's my handy dandy tape gun. Here's my Batty Bo Batty tape gun. There it is. All right. All the Avenger simulations are ready to go. Now I need like, I'd say 2 more boxes, I guess. 2 more boxes. Yeah, 2 more boxes should do it. Oh. Woo! Oh, I forgot about this box. Ugh. Talk to me if you're still watching the show. I am here. There was no discussion of the comic ratings. Yeah, thank you, Chris. You've actually you've shined some light on a dark situation. This is absolutely true. Oh, that's funny. You heard me. And no one was bad mouthing the Punisher logo, which is good. The new or the old one. That other one, the new logo was really getting the old logo was really getting a beat down. An unfair beat down. No one liked that original logo. Chris especially, he hates the logo. Call that a logo. I'll show you a gosh darn logo. I'll show you a logo with some page numbers on it. 6. I think you can
can knock this all out in one more box. We just need the right box. Which might be this box. No, maybe it's not this box. Hang on, guys. Let me just get the other box. Another special box. There we go. There's another box. I was noticing earlier too that there are going to be a lot more issues of Isum Shin that are going to need to go back to press soon, and it'll be kind of exciting. Because I think I'm going to start doing some really cool and fun stuff with that going into 2023. The crowdfunding campaigns that we'll have going on for that. Whew. All right. Those. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Leave no single issues behind. Ugh. Yeah, this is a pretty big haul, I gotta say. And speaking of halls, you know who else is going to be there? Is Bob Hall. Okay, so we got Warrior Defender, single issues. We got Warrior and Defender graphic novel. We have Fallen Avenger graphic novels in here. We have HD1. Nice. There we go. Now we just got to throw these t-shirts inside a Francesca's bag here. And I am all set for Capital City Comic Con. Now let's see, how long did it take me to actually do all this work? For 20 minutes. Yeah, about an hour. That's good. Equals more great value Wolverine. I totally agree with that, Chris. All right, guys. So that is the end of my AMA. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for asking me questions. As always, I love being here for you guys. You're the best. I will see you guys later. I'm going to try and do my EXP show tomorrow if I can sneak out. We're moving pretty much all day tomorrow, so I don't know. I might have to cancel. And if I do, I'll make it up to you guys just as soon as I'm settled in and my new home and everything's up and running. It'll be a lot easier for me to kind of focus on stuff. I'm also kind of trying to move through old inventory, and I'm going to start digging back into parts of my collection that I haven't even shown you guys yet at all. It's just books that have been laying back there. So we're going to start moving through that stuff probably as of next week. And we'll also see what happens when I head out to Comicpalooza. All right, guys, I will see you later. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your day.